"Can we?" my best friend's sister whispered. His answer changed everything. The moment she quietly whispered, "Can we?" the entire world seemed to stop around me. The old workshop that had always echoed with the sound of buzzing saws and rattling tools suddenly felt completely silent. Dust floated through the afternoon light. My heartbeat grew louder than the machine's, and I realized that the next few seconds would change not only my life, but hers forever. Sometimes the smallest question carries the heaviest weight, especially when it comes from someone who has spent years hiding behind a brave smile. Before we continue, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and stories that remind us of the goodness still left in the world, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to Shadow of Kindness. Your support helps these heartfelt stories reach more people. I had known Ethan since we were 8 years old. We grew up on the same street, scraped our knees riding bicycles, skipped stones across the river after school, and dreamed about building our own businesses one day. While life pulled us in different directions as adults, our friendship never faded. Ethan became a firefighter, risking his life for strangers every day, while I stayed in our hometown, running the woodworking shop my late father had built with his own hands. The shop wasn't glamorous. The roof leaked every spring, the floor creaked with every step, and every piece of furniture carried the scent of fresh pine and years of honest work. It wasn't just my workplace. It was the last place where I still felt close to my father. Ethan's younger sister, Claire, had always been around. When we were kids, she followed us everywhere despite being several years younger. We teased her for carrying notebooks filled with drawings instead of playing games, but she never complained. She simply smiled and kept sketching. As the years passed, she transformed into a talented interior designer whose creativity amazed everyone who saw her work. Yet behind her success lived a quiet sadness that few people noticed. After losing both parents within 3 years, Claire learned to hide her pain behind determination. She smiled at family gatherings, celebrated everyone else's victories, and never admitted how lonely she truly felt. My own life had become equally complicated. Losing my father left me with debts tied to the workshop, endless bills, and the responsibility of keeping his dream alive. Every month felt like a battle between hope and failure. Some days customers filled the shop, while other weeks passed without a single order. Friends encouraged me to sell the property and move on, but every wooden beam reminded me of the promises I'd made beside my father's hospital bed. I couldn't let his legacy disappear. Claire occasionally visited to order custom furniture for her clients. Those visits slowly became something I secretly looked forward to. She always brought coffee, stayed longer than necessary, and somehow managed to brighten even the hardest mornings. Still, I kept my distance. She was my best friend's sister, and I believed certain lines should never be crossed. Respect mattered more than personal feelings. Then everything changed during one rainy autumn afternoon. Claire arrived looking different than usual. Her eyes were tired, and the confident smile she normally wore had disappeared. She wandered through the workshop, gently running her fingers across unfinished tables as though searching for courage. I could sense she wasn't there to discuss furniture. Eventually, we stood facing one another near my father's old workbench. Outside, rain tapped softly against the windows. Inside, neither of us seemed capable of speaking. After several long moments, she looked up with eyes filled not with fear, but vulnerability. She quietly whispered, "Can we stop pretending we don't feel anything?" The question struck deeper than any words I'd ever heard. Years of carefully hidden emotions suddenly stood between us. Every excuse I'd ever used collapsed in an instant. I wanted to answer immediately, yet the weight of Ethan's friendship, my financial struggles, and the fear of destroying everything kept me frozen. Loving someone wasn't complicated. Living with the consequences often was. I finally admitted what I had buried for years. I cared about her more deeply than I had ever allowed myself to admit. But I also confessed that I couldn't betray Ethan's trust. Our friendship meant too much, and I refused to become the reason his family fell apart. Claire didn't cry. Instead, she smiled sadly, almost